master's degree from Rice University, Houston, and he lives in Greater Boston. So he is visiting us from Boston. So there he works as a senior engineering manager at a top semiconductor firm. So he finished Sanskrita Bhasha Kovida and Sanskrita Bhasha Visharada at an age of 11, only at an age of 11, and combines his Sanskrit knowledge with scientific temper to conduct fresh research into the teachings of our rishis. He is an astrology researcher, author, teacher, and his free Vedic software, Jagannatha Hora, is used by many Vedic astrologers and students across the globe. Using free and simplified Homa and Tarpana manuals on his website, I am noting it, vedicastrologer.org. Again, vedicastrologer.org. Using these manuals, thousands of spiritual seekers across the world are performing regular Homa and Tarpana rituals for individual spiritual progress as well as increasing the overall dharma in the whole universe. So, thank you. Please welcome Narasimha ji. And with this, we will start the event. So, the way we structure is, first we will have a lecture, like talk by Narasimha ji, where we will learn the basics of Homa and how to do and everything. After that, he will give a demonstration. At that time, you are welcome to look into the manuals. And then, after once it is done, then each of the participants will do their own Homa. And at that time, we will give all the Homa Samagri to the participant. And after that, we have some little bit contact dinner, and then we will go. Yeah. Thank you so much. Please.
Thank you, Ajay. Namaste, all of you. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Rudraye Namaha. Om Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Om Sri Narasimha Namaskara. Okay, thank you, all of you. Namaste. And as Ajay explained, about an hour to hour and 15 minutes, I will give a presentation. And the idea is to explain the importance of Homa as a spiritual sadhana, and also explain the procedure. What are the building blocks? What is the meaning of those? And explain the procedure. And then I will try to answer some commonly asked questions, practical tips of practice. After that, I will do a demo and do a small Homa here. And I will, after that, you do your own Homa. That will be a content Homa. But when I do a demo, I will try to cover multiple javasas so that in the long run, many of you may start doing some other different javasas. So I will try to cover different javasas. And that will be probably around 5 minutes. You can do from 5 minutes to 5 hours whole day. But we will try to limit it for 45 minutes. Then you all will do Homa. And for that, what I normally do when I do Homa workshop is, you all do 3 Homas. The first one is a written Homa. So you have a Homa in front of you. You don't actually have a real file or you don't offer real material. You pretend that you are doing Homa. I chant the mantras, you chant along with me. You say, okay, twice, you don't put water, you just pretend to do the Homa. So that will go very quickly, 5 minutes. So you are getting the hang of the procedure. That's it. And the second Homa is an actual Homa, but a coordinated Homa. So I'll chant the mantra, you instructions. You chant along and follow the instructions. You actually do this real file, real. So this time, you don't have to focus on the mantras because I'm taking care of the orchestration. So you can focus on materials and file management, etc. The third time, I'll just leave you. You are on your own. So you have to look at the manual, see where you are, and I won't give you instructions. So basically, you have to say the mantra, you have to follow the instructions, you have to offer materials. So you do videos. So gradually, from the first one to second one to third one, you will become more familiar. And the goal is when you go home, tomorrow onwards, and next weekend onwards, you should be able to do this. So that's the ideal goal. And one thing I want to say at the onset is, if some mistakes happen, don't panic. It's no big deal. And if the file goes away, restart the file and keep going. In the beginning, there will be some obstacles. If a baby who's starting to walk falls, he gives up on walking, he will never walk. It's perfectly fine. So one more thing is, in general, try to relax and enjoy. Don't put pressure on yourself. This has to be right. I have to listen to every word. I didn't understand it. Basically, don't stress out. In general, sadhana is a time to relax. Sadhana is a time to connect with the divine. It doesn't come through stress. It comes to relax. So relax and try to enjoy. And try to Homa, I'll pick simple mantra that everybody can chant. So even if you don't know, after I do a couple of times, you will get a hang of it. So I want everybody to chant loud. So many people are together chanting loud. The energy is different. So that will be in the second round. So we'll start with the presentation. So as I said, I will explain the importance of Agni and Homa, Homa also known as Havan, and I will briefly talk about our Homa movement, do yourself Homa movement, and then I will explain a simple procedure, what are the steps and what is the key. Most important thing is in any sadhana, any spiritual practice, if you understand what you are doing, what is the real meaning, the real essence of it, you will be able to visualize better and if you want rather than mechanical. You will be able to enjoy it better. You know what you are doing, what is the meaning, real meaning. And then I'll try to answer some common questions and give some practical tips. Next slide.
Next slide.
Next slide. Thanks. In the Shastras, there are some prescribed daily things that every human being is supposed to do on a daily basis. There are known as Pancha-Mahayajnas, 5 great sacrifices. These offerings to the universe around us, 5 different kinds of offerings.
Guruji, just one request. The speaker is not on, it seems.
This one,
Yeah, it looks like. And one more request is if you go slow, we can understand.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
can you hear any better?
Yes, yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so you can directly let me and answer it. Yes.
Guruji, just go little slow. Okay. So that will help. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
okay. So, as I said, there are Pancha-Mahayajnas, 5 great sacrifices that are prescribed daily for all human beings. And Homa Havan is one of them. Next slide. So this slide shows the Pancha-Mahayajnas. It's useful to understand all these 5 great sacrifices that the Shastra recommends that we do every day. This is Nichakarma prescribed daily rituals. For the 5 standard runas we have, 5 standard tests. All of us, as we are living, we have kept to 5 different entities. One day is to Brahman, the supreme being, because he is the supreme being through whom whole universe is created. So we all owe everything that we have to the supreme being of Brahman. And the yajna prescribed for that is Brahma yajna. The meaning of that is it is defined as study and teaching scriptures. So you whatever the scripture is, there are various scriptures in various traditions, various religions. Study the scripture, try to basically understand the God who made this world. So that way you pay back some of the prana to the supreme being. The second prana is to the devas, the divine beings. There are various devatas in the universe. Don't think of them as people in the sky, etc. They are also within us. When I am thinking of what to say, my intellect is coming up with what to say. That intellect is nothing but Jupiter. So Jupiter is in the skies, he is in all of you, he is in me, and he is working through our intellect and coming up with ideas, etc. And when I was making something, those exact words are being created in my mind like Buddha,
Yeah.
Mercury. Like that, various devatas are working constantly in all of us for us to do everything that we are doing. Without them, we won't be anything. As a matter of fact, whatever we do is the work of gods. We are the only thing we add is our ahankara, our sense of this is me. Except for that container, which is the ahankara, everything else is being done by various beings in the universe who are spread across everywhere. So we have a runa to them. So to fulfill that runa, Shastras recommend Yajna, and it is defined explicitly as Homa. You do a 5 rituals and you make offerings to devatas, the main devatas who are allowing you to live the way you are. And then the third group is Pitris, the ancestors or deceased beings, people who are no longer alive. But the thoughts that they had when they were alive, those are buried in the space. And they are slowly decaying, but they are never completely zero. So those thoughts, vibrations in the space can affect us. That is why sometimes, for no reason, you feel angry, you feel lust, feel jealousy. There is absolutely no reason, but you feel these emotions. And typically that is because there is some vibration in the universe, and because at that time, because of the Runa with the original emanated of that vibration, it is impacting you at that time. So at different times, you are vulnerable to different of those vibrations. So to free yourself from the vibrations coming from various disease beings, you do Tapana. Tapana, Triyajna is the ritual described, and is explicitly defined as Tapana or water oblation. So you basically put some specific seeds and water, you with specific words, and more importantly, words are only proxies. More importantly, specific thought in the mind. You basically offer water that frees you from the death to the deceased beings, and explicitly your ancestors, specifically your ancestors, and it may not be your ancestors, somebody you are attached to or somebody who influenced your life. If he died, it could even be a pet. Those vibrations could impact him. So this is basically for the dead beings. So supreme being, divine beings, and the dead beings, and then the living beings. We all support each other. Without other people, we cannot live. People who grow our food, people. I mean, I don't want to list, but basically our lives are so interconnected. So we have a Runa to all other Manushas. So this is not Manushya Runa, other human beings. And for that, the recommended yajna out of the Panchamaha is Manushya Yajna. And that is defined as Atisatta. Serving your guests with a lot of respect and love. And this is not just people who come to your house. People who you are interacting with on the street, they are also Ati's in your lives. People you are interacting with on Facebook and Twitter and other social media, they are also your Atithi. So any other human beings you interact with, treat them with respect and dignity. You may fight them, your karma may require you to fight them, but basically have no animosity for the person himself, and see and be grateful and treat with dignity and respect. So that is Manushya. And finally, it's not just human beings. Without peace, there won't be food. You won't be eating food. Like that, all the birds, animals, insects, everything is connected in this universe. We won't be living or we won't live a meaningful life without other beings. So we have a debt. Still do we accumulate debt to other beings. So we do what is known as Bhuta Yajna, which is nothing but feeding animals and birds. So these are the Panchamaha Yajnas that everybody must do regularly according to scriptures. Out of these, treating other people with dignity and respect, and feeding animals and birds, these are standard things. You won't consider them as rituals. These are things that you just do. Similarly, studying scriptures and teaching scriptures, this is a thing that you do. Out of these, what are normally considered as rituals are Homa and Tarpana. So these two, if you make them a part of your life, it gives you debt-free, really enables your spiritual growth. It is really key. And particularly, next slide please. Agni is very important. Agni is called the doorway to the divine in our Shastra. Agni Mukhave Deva, he says, means Agni is the doorway to the gods. He is worshipped in many ancient cultures, not just Hinduism. This story, even in America, Native America spirit. I know one lady, California, who still does it. Every day, 10-minute ritual to a goddess that they try to worship for generations. She does that every day. For 10 minutes without that, she doesn't use home. And like that, Native Americans did it. Aboriginals of Australia did it. And even in Europe, before Christianity and Islam came, various pagan religions, they worshipped various gods in fire. And in Mexico, Mayans worshipped fire. Lucas was very well known for worshipping fire. So, in South America. So, this is there across the world. People knew that there's some power in fire. They were in front of fire, thinking about God or meditating, you are able to make some connection, some subtle connection. So he is basically very powerful. And he is the first guru and priest of Veda. Veda starts with Agni. Agni is the first. He is the first guru and the first guru of Veda. And the company of Agni is very purifying and transformational in nature. As a matter of fact, one of the names of Agni is Bhavaka. Literally it means purifying. He purifies you. And he makes the meditation work. So even if you don't do any homa, you just light a bright fire, sit in front of it, look at the fire and meditate. Your meditation will be more effective. As a matter of fact, Vivekananda did this. When Ramakrishna was suffering from cancer, he was with Ramakrishna in Calcutta at Krishneshwar. So every night from 11:30 or so, he used to basically put lot of logs and set them on fire. No ritual, just logs on fire. He will sit in front of it, keep his eyes closed, back, neck, head straight, eyes closed, and meditate. And that fire could accentuate the meditation. It would basically make it more effective. He did that and did like that till early morning, and then he would go on sleep and get up and take care of it. So there is something powerful about fire. And one more point I want to make. Next slide, please. Soul, sun, and fire. There is a connection. Soul, in the cave of our heart, as per Shastras, is basically a spark of fire. And sun is a big ball of fire who maintains order in the solar system. Without sun, there is no life in solar system. There is no order in solar system. So similarly, without soul, the soul that is inside us, it has no desires, it has no agenda. But whatever agenda our ego, our mind have, it works selflessly to fulfill. So, and also it maintains some order in our existence. So, sun as well as soul, they are both important for dharma and for maintaining some kind of order. As a matter of fact, dharma is actually really means balance and order. That is the real meaning of dharma. So, sun supports life in the solar system and soul supports life in individual. And there is a resonance between similar objects. So, sun, soul, and external life, there is a resonance. So, if we spend time in front of Agni, if people make more offerings in fire and with more fire, that certainly feeds the sun, the skies, and that maintains order in the solar system and on our earth. It is good for dharma on our earth if more people are doing fire, like in the old days. And secondly, you are spending time in front of fire, you resonate with that fire, your soul resonates with that fire, and the soul expresses more strongly. And when the soul expresses more strongly, we just feel more clarity, we just feel more bliss. That is the nature of soul. So it is very liberating. Next slide. I will briefly talk about our movement, current movement. My guru, the picture on the right, his name is Dr. Manish Pandit. He lives in Birmingham, UK. He is a nuclear medicine expert. He is a doctor in UK. And his guru, the bottom right, Akhate Maharaj, he is his guru. He is from Pune. And his guru on the left to him, Purvani Maharaj. And he had two gurus. On the right, Loknath Maharaj, and on the top left, Sri Vasudevananda Saraswati Swami, Tempe, also known as Tempe Swami. These were his gurus. And next slide, Sri Tempe Swami, he was famous in Maharashtra, and also if you read Sai Charitra, he appears in Sai Charitra in one of the stories. Sai Baba considered his spiritual brother. He was considered an incarnation of Dattatreya, one of the avatars of Dattatreya. So he is our Karma Guru of our lineage, and he did a Homa every day. And he did not eat any food that wasn't first offered in fire. So whatever was offered in fire, and fire accepted, that only he took. If one day fire did not accept, like basically he started planting, he said there is something, some purity with it. So he fasted that day. So he had a close connection with this fire. He also did a Tapana every day, Homa and Tapana rituals, till his last day. Last day, his body was shaking, he was trying to do Tapana, and water was not staying. He basically said, Ishwar exam, he basically gave up. That day, he left his body. So he is our Karma Guru, and I want to acknowledge, next slide, two other paramparas that had an influence on our current movement. Swami Sadasivam, who is on the left, he is a Shivacharya from a traditional family, lineage of Shivacharyas in Tamil Nadu. He is the head priest of the historic ancient Kalkammal temple in Chennai. This is a temple where Shivaji Maharaj was sent by Samartha to worship the Divine Mother before a major practice for planning of fertility. So he went there, sent by Samartha, worshipped, and then he succeeded in the planning. So he is the head priest of the temple, Swami Sadasivam. He has been in Monoratham for the last 8.5 years. So he has been very close to us. As a matter of fact, our movement started at this temple. We were doing a Satyadi Homa with a specific sankalpa for troubles from legal problems to Swami Jayendra Saraswati, the Sakracharya of Kanchi. We were doing a Satyadi Homa at this temple. He arranged everything. Manish, my Guru Manish and I were doing the ritual. And it was during the ritual that Devi gave a darshan to my Guru and gave a command. Simplify Homa, more and more people need to do Homa. In the old days, a lot of people were doing. Now, not many people are doing. And even those who are doing are for specific sankalpas, for people basically. They're not doing as an offering, as a selfless offering to God, as we have to do every day. So, more people need to do it for dharma to increase in the world. So, time has come for many people to get into this, simplify, and enable people, irrespective of their race, their gender, their caste, etc. Enable anybody who is interested in spiritual progress and contributing to dharma in the world. So, it was her command, and that happened in this temple. And without that being told, he gave us a lot of material for doing this work. He gave us a lot of Homa, lot of books on Homa, Homa Kunda, etc. Without Manish revealing about that darshan, he arranged it, and also he has been a pillar of support. When I had several workshops, he was there. He would have been here, but he's currently in India. He splits his time between India and US. So he's in India, otherwise would have been here. He's a very great soul, so I want to acknowledge him. So our original parampara is a Datta parampara. Our Parama is considered a Datta parampara. And this is a Shivacharya parampara, Siva parampara. And there is another parampara associated with Devi, Shakti, which also had a big influence. This gentleman here on the right of Swami Sadasivam is known as Jatala Sadhu or Gayatri Baba. If any of you read the Aghora series books by Dr. Robert Sobada, who's on the right here, his guru was Vivekananda in the middle. It is not photo, it's a drawing by Dr. Vasant Lord. So he was a worshipper of Tara, Mother Tara, and he had a darshan of Tara at the age of 20, and he basically took over his life. And his guru, he had two gurus. If you read the books, a name called Junior Guru Maharaj appears in the books, and this is the Junior Guru Maharaj, Jatal Sadhu or Gayatri Baba. He did a Gayatri Homa every day in Simhajanam. So he, Jatal Sadhu and Vivekananda appeared in some visions and dreams to Manish, and they inspired. So we believe that their influence is there, and explicitly Dr. Saboda, I've been in touch with him, I spent a lot of time with him. So he has been a support behind this movement. So this is our current movement of enabling people to do a Homa by themselves is basically influenced by three paramparas, Datta parampara, Siva parampara, and Sakta parampara. And again, we don't want, if you want to consider us as your gurus when you do this, you are fine to do so, because some people can't do something without having a guru. But we are not really looking for a higher pedestal or being gurus. We are just messengers. We are just instruments of the divine. So I've been doing these Homa workshops for the last few years. My manuals have been there on the website for many years, and many people discovered and started doing by themselves and asked questions on social media. But we started doing these workshops recently, 2022, I think. This was from the Washington DC workshop, from there, where I was doing a Homa and people were chanting around. By the way, this is Swami Saraswati, meditating in the back. And then this was from Hyderabad. This temple is dedicated to Jatal Sadhu, the Junior Guru Maharaj that I mentioned. This is a temple where he is the Devata. So I was doing a Homa there. This is from there. And this is a Homa workshop done in Hyderabad last December. So we had about 500 to 600 people, and in 300 different Homakundas people did Homa. And then this is from Memphis last year, I think last August. Memphis, there is a Gosala there, S3 Gosala. So this is from the Homa workshop. And as you can see, you see some people wearing traditional clothes and some people wearing, for example, next picture. This is from DC workshop. You can see some people wearing t-shirts, shorts. See, my general guideline is, if you are one of those people who feels uncomfortable doing any ritual without traditional clothes, do it, no problem. But the thing is, clothes are secondary. What is important is your devotion and your ability to guide. And sometimes, if you are wearing clothes that are not comfortable for you, get distracted. You are not able to focus. You are like, what is happening here? What is happening here? So if you, my basic guideline on clothes is, they should be comfortable. They should not distract. And also, if you are wearing vesti, etc., utriyam, etc., if there are loose parts, loose hanging parts, there is a fire hazard. Make sure that they are tightly and they don't basically fly around. So that is, use common sense. In general, people have rigid opinions, but Sanatana Dharma, as taught by me, is very flexible and open. They never said this way or my way or highway. They always gave millions of options. Now I will give an overview of the procedure. There are in a Homa. See, one small word before I go into this. If you go to my website vedicastrology.org, there are various procedures. There are various manuals: simple, and then elaborate. And there are some legacy manuals that I put together long back in 2006, and then I simplified further. So what I suggest is, don't think that if you do an elaborate ritual, it is better. You can do a simple ritual and do the main mantra more times. If you have more time, you can do a simple, you can take a simple template and make it long. So it's not necessary that you need to do an elaborate ritual. What I suggest is, start with the simplest Ganti Homa or simple Ganti Homa. Today, the manuals are simple Ganti Homa. So in general, start with Ganpati and then you can expand to other devatas. You can move to other devatas if you are so inclined. But I strongly recommend doing Ganpati in the beginning for a few months. So there are lot of different steps in other manuals. But this is the basic thing that is really essential. Other things are like bells and whistles. So what I suggest is, start with this. And if you are one of those people who wants long ritual, you can take some steps from the other manuals, longer manuals. You can basically introduce them. You can make your ritual longer. And in the end, if you want, you can use the old manual, do a long ritual. But my recommendation is, keep it simple and enjoy it more. So in the beginning, there are some initial portions before you call the devata, and there are two parts there. One is pre-fire portion. Before you start the fire, there are some standard steps in the Homa. And then there are some initial offerings. You start the fire and there are some initial offerings you make to some devatas in the fire. So that is initial offerings. And then you call the devata into fire and you offer upcharas or services. There are 64 services, 16 services or 5 services. And I recommend just 5 services to keep it simple. So you are imagining that there is a real person there and serving that person. It's as simple as that. So this is the next step. And then the main portion. You make offerings to the devata with a particular mantra, stotra, sloka, or bijaksha, etc. So that is the main portion. And then in the end, there are some final offerings you make in the fire to some specific devatas. And then you do Punah. Punahati is the final offering. Complete. It literally means complete surrender. So that's it. This is the basic structure of a fire ritual. And here, the initial portion, the pre-fire portion, is common to normal puja. Suppose you have a kalasham, kalash, or a murti, an idol. You are calling Vishnu in the idol, and then you are doing some Panchopchar puja, and then you chant Vishwasnaam Stotram. Suppose you do that every Wednesday or something, every weekend. This step will be there. Pre-fire portion will be there also. The initial offerings are due to Homa. They are unique to Homa. And then calling the devata into the fire is just like calling in a murti or calling in a kashan. So that is common to regular rituals. And then upcharas are also common to regular rituals. You do upcharas to idol or you do to fire. You think that there is a person and serve that person. So it's common. So this is not due to Homa. And then the main portion, offerings to devatas. This is again, if you are chanting Vishwasnaam Stotram or Lalita Sahasranam Stotram or some prayer of Ganpati every day, this is what you would normally do. Now you are doing it in the fire. You are adding swaha at the end and offering in the fire. That's it. So this is again not unique to Homa. The main portion is not unique, but final offerings in the fire, the 6 offerings that you make in the end, those are unique to Homa, and Purnahati is unique to Homa. So you can see that these 3 steps are added in Homa. Other than that, this is like a regular puja to an idol, a murti. So if you are already worshipping a murti, Lakshmi or Ganesh or Hanuman, whoever, you can convert your regular puja into a Homa with little overhead, with just 3-4 minutes added. So that is my main message. You can convert your regular puja to Homa. Now let's dive into each of these steps. As I said, the pre-fire portion is common to all standard puja. Next slide, please. Yeah, this one.
Punahati?
No, pre-fire portion.
Pre-fire.
Yeah.
This one. Yeah.
I kept forgetting saying next slide. So pre-fire portion. This is common with standard pujas, not unique to Homa. Here, see again, people have a lot of different steps that they do, but the essential steps in any ritual are 5. And these 5 steps are meant for triggering, activating, and balancing the 5 elements. The earth element in the Muladhara Chakra, water element in the Swadhisthana Chakra, fire element in the control chakra, air element in the anahata chakra, and space element in the Vishnu chakra. You basically balance these elements. And that's the way you do that is practical. You just sit down in a balanced way. Find a nice seat, whether it's on a chair. Suppose you have knee problem, sit on a chair. It's not a problem. You don't have to sit on the ground. Sit on a chair. So sit somewhere in a comfortable posture, comfortable and balanced posture, and then thank Mother Earth for bearing your weight, and then pray to Ganpati. Just whatever mantra you know, just pray to Ganpati. Just think of Ganpati in your mind. That triggers the earth element inside you and balances the earth element inside you. The earth element is nothing but stability and groundedness. And then the water element. You do Achamanam. Om Keshwaya Swaha, Om Narayana Swaha, Om Madhava Swaha. You do those three and you take 3 sips of water. That basically offers water to Vishnu who's inside you, who's basically taking care of the physical realm, mental realm and spiritual realm within you. So you make 3 offerings and then that basically activates the water element and balances the water element inside. While doing it, basically think of pleasing Vishnu with the inside at the 3 levels. And then light a fire lamp for the fire element. And it's not enough to just light the lamp. Light it and stare at it for a couple of seconds. Look at it for a couple of seconds. And when that fire touches the optical nerves, that triggers the fire element inside you. And it basically balances the fire inside, which is the transforming element. And then air element, you do pranayama. The way you do pranayama is, there are many ways, but the simplest way is, you use these two fingers for the left nostril and the thumb for the right nostril. And keep these. So you first close the left nostril, keep the right nostril open and breathe out. Whatever air is already in the nostril, breathe out. And then breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in through the left, breathe out through the right. So right breathe out, right breathe in, left breathe out, left breathe in. Right breathe out, right breathe in, left breathe out, left breathe in. How many times you do? The idea is prana ayama literally means control, regulate the life force inside. So when your life force is very agitated, your breathing will be agitated. When your life force is balanced, your breathing is very nice and steady. So you try to control the life force which is subtle through the gross thing, which is the breathing. It is kind of like controlling the parent using the child. Normally, parent controls the child, but sometimes you can basically use the child to control the parent. It's kind of like that. So you control your breathing for a while, and eventually prana will, life force will come under control. So what I suggest is do it as many times as needed until you feel relaxed and not stressed out, you feel calm. So your mind is basically in a steady state. Then basically start with the idea of doing this. By balancing the air element, what we mean is air is the element of flexibility as well as instability. So you want to basically make it really balanced. So what I suggest is not just before rituals. Suppose you have an important meeting at office. Just before the meeting, if you are stressed out, do pranayama for a couple of minutes, and then you will feel relaxed and then go into the meeting. It will go better. So in general, this is for removing the stress and balancing your life force. So finally, space element. Space or akasha is that which is there everywhere, but it is not explicitly there in any. You can't see it anywhere explicitly, but it is there everywhere. So the way you trigger that is you just declare your intention. You basically say that I'm doing this ritual for so and so purpose. So the declaration, it is basically that's just like space fills all the atoms and molecules everywhere, even though you can't see it. That sacrifice at the back of what you are doing, it fills the entire ritual with this basically spirit. So it's the spirit behind it. So you take sankalpa, and the way you take sankalpa, typically when you do pranayama, you take some akshatas into your right palm. And then after pranayama, you put the left palm facing up on your right knee. Left palm facing up on the right knee. And then right palm has the akshatas. You make it downward facing and then put it on the palm. And then you say whatever sankalpa you have to say. And in the manuals, the sankalpa is very simple. Bhuloke dharma sthapanartham, on earth for establishing dharma, sarvesham janana sukha shanti vidyartham, for all people, for sukha and shanti, for basically comfort and peace. Whatever devata, Ganpati prasada siddhartham, so that devata for him to be pleased. Ganpati homa karma the ritual of Ganapati Homa, Yathasakti Karishya. So the best of my ability, I am doing. That's it. That's the simplest personal sankalpa given in the manual. You can use that. And some people use a long sankalpa where your gotra, your name, all the things are mentioned. The thing is, God knows who you are. And the space where you are living, between which rivers, which mountains, which place, which khanda, all these are just for reminding us so that people at least know which khanda they are on, etc., which rivers are nearby. So this is for people, for continuity of knowledge, remembering knowledge, they have created that system. But God doesn't know that. As a matter of fact, even if you don't say explicitly in your sankalpa, if there's something bothering you, I want my son to get married soon, if you are constantly thinking of it at the back of your mind, that becomes an unofficial sankalpa in your Buddha. Basically, God is aware of your sankalpa. Your set sankalpas and unset sankalpas. So don't stress out too much about having the right sankalpa. But if you have a specific sankalpa like your child getting married or getting a job, it's fine to, as long as those are dharmic, you are not trying to do something adharma or tamasic, it's fine to have those. So that triggers the space element, and as I said, these steps are common to all rituals, not just for Homa. Next slide please. Initial offerings into fire. So you light the fire with a specific mantra. The mantra is very simple. Om Bhur Bhuvat Swarom. Om Bhur Bhuvat Swarom. This is the manual. You don't have to do it. Om Bhur Bhuvat Swarom, and then you light the fire. You can light directly with a matchstick. If you have the deepa, you can light an incense stick and use it to light it. Or you can take another camphor piece and put it. You can put one camphor piece already when you are setting up the home kunda. We'll talk about it later. You can put a couple of copra pieces and put a camphor there. And then you can light the camphor, and then slowly the copra pieces will catch fire. And as we are adding more copra pieces around, they will catch fire and slowly fire will go. So you can basically light the fire with Om Bhur Bhuvat Swaram. Then you offer 8 drops of ghee, saying Om Bhur Bhuvat Swaha. Om Bhur Bhuvat Swaha. You say offer drop of ghee. You say offer drop of ghee 8 times. The idea is the fire will grow. Because of the ghee, the fire will spread to more parts of the materials that you have offered. So fire will grow. And symbolically, these are supposed to be the samskaras that you do to the baby. When your baby is born, you give a name, you basically feed the first grain of rice, you do aksharabhyasam, which is basically teaching language or teaching the alphabet for the first time. Like that, there are 8 samskaras or 8 ways in which the baby is shaped. Baby's belly is shaped. So those 8 basically steps that a baby goes through as the baby grows, are you are doing to the fire. And physically, the fire is growing. So that is the meaning of this step. So while doing it, think that may this fire grow bigger. And then you make offerings to some key devas. Prajapati, Indra, Agni, etc. Some Vedic devata. And then there are different traditions. There are tantric traditions where you make offerings to Jnana, Ajnana, Vidya, etc. There are different traditions, different devatas. But we are from a Vedic tradition. So I basically stick to Prajapati, Indra, Agni, Soma, etc. So I suggest using that. But if you are initiated into another procedure, and I don't care about what template to use. As long as you are doing some homa on a regular basis, you are contributed to the mind. So I'll explain the meaning of these offerings. So first offering is to Prajapati. You say Om Prajapatiye Swaha, and Prajapati is the creator. Praja means being, Pati means ruler. He is the one who created all the beings. So he is the creator. Basically, so he controls the Muladhara Chakra inside us at the base of the spine, and that corresponds with our current living condition. And he is basically everything that is there at this plane, and everything that's created is basically the roller of that. So you say Prajapatiye Swaha, and think of the roller of your Muladhara Chakra. Say that may he be pleased, because it is because of him that we are able to interact with this variety that is in the world. And then make an offering to Indra. Now there are 3 offerings, Indra, Agni, Soma. I'll explain the meaning of those. So there are 3 nadis in our body. Sushumna nadi in the middle to the spine, Surya nadi or Pingal nadi on the right side of the spine, and Somana Chandra nadi or Ila nadi on the left side. These 3 nadis are very important. Anything that you basically are experiencing through objective thinking. Any structured thinking, objective thinking, logical thinking, analytical thinking is happening because of the Surya Nadi or Pingal Nadi on the right hand side. And it is connected with the left brain. It is connected with the right nostril and the left brain. So whatever you are able to understand about the world around you logically is enabled by this nadi, which is controlled by Agni. So you make an offering to Agni saying Om Agniya Swaha, and then when you say that, think of everything that you are able to experience in a logical way. And then there are some intuitions and emotions you have. So any unstructured thinking, feeling, emotions is to the lunar channel, Chandra Nadi on the left side, connected with the left nostril and the right brain. Parasympathetic system. So that is, so you say Somaya Swaha and be grateful to Soma for facilitating various feelings, emotions, intuitions, etc. that you may experience in your life. And then in the middle is the Sushumna Nadi, which is normally closed in all of people. It is through spine. When it is open, what you are experiencing is not logic or emotion or intuition. You just know. It's just real for you, as real as something in front of you. So that is, and also all the lokas where the devas are that practice. So anything that you experience through direct perception, like the Rishis did, you go into Indra. So you say Om Indraya Swaha, and you make offering. So you say Om Prajapatiya Swaha, Om Indraya Swaha, Om Agneya Swaha, Om Samaya Swaha. These are the four offerings. And when you say these, think of this meaning and basically feel that in your mind. I thank Soma for so and so. So this is the idea. And then Prajapati, finally you make an offering to Prajapati. Prajapati is not only the creator of the Bhuloka, of the earth realm, but all the realms in our existence. There is physical realm, mental realm, and spiritual realm. Bhuloka, Bhurloka, and Swarloka. All are created by us. So not only the physical people around us, but any mental motions inside us, any spiritual constructs within us, they are created by Prajapati. So anything that you experience at any level, physical, mental, or spiritual, is created by Prajapati. So you say Om Bhurbhuva Swaha, basically corresponding to Bhuva Swaha, physical, mental, and spiritual. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha, and then you think of Prajapati who created all these. So these are the basic offerings to the Vedic devatas, because of whom we are experiencing the world the way we are. And then Om Gam Ganapatiye Namah Swaha, you make an offering to Ganapati. It gives you good planning in whatever you are doing, including the ritual. And then Om Vam Varnaya Swaha, that is basically Varna. Ganapati and Varna are important in Vedic rituals. Ganapati gives you good planning, solid planning, and Varna, it gives you persistence. In spite of planning, there are options. You persist and you basically triumph. So those two are very important in Vedic rituals. So you make one offering to each. Next slide. So these offerings are unique to Homa. But as you see, these are just 7 offerings. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha, start of 8 drops of ghee, and then 7 offerings to 7 basic. That's it. It should take like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And then you call the main devata. You basically, the simple way to call the devata is, you just think of the god in your mind or say a prayer and say Atra Agacha. Or you just show the fire or murti or the colors and say Atra Agacha, come here. The key is how many mantras you say for that is secondary, what is primary. But of course, if you are interested, in the longer manuals there are detailed step procedure. But what I suggest is just say Atra Agacha. Imagine with the intensity and with the belief of a child that God has come into that fire. That's the key. When you do the ritual, you should believe that God is in the fire or in the concept if you are going to that also. So that is the key. So invite the God and then you do 5 upacharas. Again, these 5 upacharas correspond to the 5 elements. So these are common to the regular puja. This is not unique to Homa. So for earth element you offer sandalwood powder. You say Om Prithvi Atmane Namaha, and then you offer sandalwood powder. And then you say Om Ram Prithvi Atmane Namaha, and then sandalwood powder. Om Ham Akashatmane Namaha, which is sandalwood. You don't need to write down. Om Ham Akashatmane Namaha, you offer flower. And flower shows the space element. Because why? Because in the flower there is potential for a fruit. And in that fruit there is a potential. There is a potential for many seeds. And those seeds have potential for several plants and trees. And those trees have a potential for forest. So a single flower has the potential to result in a forest in the air. It's a Similarly, Akash Tattva, the space element, has the potential for this variety that we see, the 14 worlds that we are able to perceive around us, all are coming from space. It is just one single thing. Like that, flower has that potential. So, all these offerings are decided based on some symbolism. So, but the key is that you make that offering, think of the element inside you. So, space element you make, you offer a flower. For air element, you say Om Vayuvatmane Namaha, you offer incense stick. For fire element, you say Ram Agnapane Namaha, you show a lamp. There is already a lamp, you show the lamp. And if you don't have flower, or if you don't have a lamp, it is very windy and you can't really light a light, you are doing outdoor homa. It is fine to just do homa and homa, no other stuff. It is fine. For every offering, just offer a drop of ghee. And imagine that you are showing lamp. Imagine that you are showing incense stick. Imagine that you are offering flower, just offer a drop of ghee. Just like in puja, sometimes people put akshata for everything. Like that, you can just put a drop of ghee for everything. And then finally, for water element inside us produces all these digestion juices, etc. So triggering the digestion will basically trigger the water element. So you offer water, you offer some food material. It can be anything. But one suggestion is, don't offer spicy foods in the homa. Try to offer sattvic foods, sweet foods, sattvic foods, etc. The homa that you offer. So this is scattered to normal rituals also. And then the main portion, also known as Pradhan Homa, next slide. You chant any mantra of the main devata that you are doing homa for while making offerings in the fire, and each mantra you can repeat many times. Just say swaha at the end. If the mantra already has swaha as a part of the mantra, you don't need to add a second swaha. But if mantra doesn't have a swaha at the end, you add swaha and make an offering in the fire. So you do it 4 times, 8 times, 12 times, 21 times, 28, 54, 64, 81, 108. These are standard numbers that people do. You can do more. You can do 1,000 times. You can do as many times as you want. But the key is try to basically one more thing. If keeping the count is really distracting you, it's fine to not keep count and just do as much as you want. When you think this is enough, just stop. That is perfectly fine. And one trick that I use, suppose I want to do 108 times. One trick I do is I start from the north, east, southeast, south, like that, all the 8 corners I cover, and then I put in the 4 corners again. So that's 12. 4 corners in the middle, 4 parts of the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle. So that covers 12. And then I repeat that, and I keep 1, 2, 3, 9 times I count here. Very easily you can keep 108. The beauty of that is, when you do that way, you are not making all your offerings in one part. That is a common routine mistake people make. Even professionals make that mistake. All the offerings are going to near the wall closest to them. They put a big pile there. It doesn't burn nicely. What is ideally, you spread it out across the homa, then fire will be spread nicely. Everything will burn nicely. Don't make a pile nice. So if you are spreading like this, it is practically burns nicer. And also you can keep a count like this. And you can start making offerings in the middle. If the fire is going strongly, you know that there is enough fuel there, enough material for the fire to keep going for a few minutes. You can just stop. You can look at the fire and meditate. Like I said, Vivekananda did in the beginning I mentioned, right? He didn't do any ritual, he just looked at the fire and meditated. You can do that. It's not a problem at all. See, people think that meditation and homa are two different things. To me, homa is really meditation in the company of fire, in the divine company of Amidala. So feel free to stop in the middle and meditate. Just don't say swaha. When you are making offerings, you say swaha. Don't say swaha, just say the mantra, just chant it in your mind as many times as you want. And then you can do multiple mantras. You can do slokas, multiple mantras. Suppose you are doing everything. In the manual, you will see Om Gam Ganpati as one option. Om Gananam Ka mantra is another option. Om Shri Hri Hri Lom, that is another option. Suppose you want to do Shuklambar Dharam Vishnu, you can do. You can do spatras, you can do slokas. Suppose you want to do Ganesha's Ashtottara Sadhanamastotra, 108 name prayer, you can do. And when you are doing 108 names and 1000 name prayer, there are 2 ways. After every name, you can say Swaha and make an offering. Or after every shloka, suppose you are doing Lakshmi Ashtottara Sadhanamastotra, you can say Om Trapradem Vidyam Sarva Bodhaika Pradam Pradham Vibhutim Sarvahim Paramatikam Swaha. Then next shloka. That is one way. The other is Om Prakrutya Nama Swaha, Om Vikrutya Nama Swaha, everything. All are fine. And And our rishis, as I said, they never said this is the only way. They always said, they always give option, they were compassionate. Unlike modern religions that came in Kali Yuga where people were very rigid, that this is the way, our rishis were very compassionate. I actually want to digress and give a small story from the scriptures. There was a discussion between Rishyasringa, Sri Rama's brother-in-law, a great sage, and then Janaka Maharaja, Sita's, Rama's father-in-law. He asked, what is the best ghee for Homa? He said, best ghee is from the cow milk. When Janaka said, that's not available, then what do I do? Buffalo milk. Ghee from buffalo milk. That's not available, what? Ghee from oat milk. And that's not available, what? Sesame oil. That's not available, what? Mustard oil. That's not available, any oil. Like that he just kept giving. Similarly for wood, he said mango wood, ashwatha wood, this wood. And those are not available, use any wood. When no wood is available, use any dry sticks that you can get, twigs. When they are not available, get dry grass. When that's not available, get wet grass. Like that, it's basically they keep giving options. Our rishis never said, this is the only way. There are certain parameters which work better than some other parameters, but also it may depend on basic alpatra, who you are, where you live, what kind of person you are, what area you are living in. There are so many parameters. So these things are variable. So they always give options. So never think that this must be done this way. Be very flexible. One more thing is, if you are totally flexible and don't do, there is no structure at all, it will be chaos. So our Sanatana Dharma is based on the idea of finding a balance between structure and flexibility. If the flexibility is too much, it becomes chaotic. So you need some structure. But if structure is too much, it will be suffocating. So you need some flexibility. So you need to find the right balance between both of them, and that will be personal. That will depend on the person, depending on his desktop. So you have to find your own balance. So if you start with these manuals, then you can expand based on those. And now finally, so as I said, the Pradhan Homa, the previous slide, next slide please. So that is common to normal puja. Only thing is you are saying Swaha and offering the fire. Whereas if it is an idol, you are offering flowers or aksharas to the idol and you are chanting the mantras of prayer. Now final offering, this is added in Homa compared to regular puja. You make offerings to two groups of three devatas each. First group is, they are the controllers of the three realms which we experience as we live. The physical realm, the mental realm and the spiritual realm. They are ruled by Agni, Vayu and Surya. Agni, the transformer, he rules the physical element, physical realm, because everything in the physical domain is created by transformation. Agni is basically from one undivided thing you basically created this. So Agni is the transformer and he is the controller. And moreover, fire plays an important role in the physical world that we live in. Secondly, in the mental realm is nothing but there is undivided consciousness. And in that consciousness there are vibrations which manifest as I am Narasimha Rao. There are several people in this room. These are all just vibrations in the consciousness that I am experiencing, and because of it I have all these functions. If I go beyond that, there is just one unified field. So mind is nothing but movement of vibrations. So the mover, Vayu, is the ruler of the mental. And finally, Surya, sun, is the ruler of the spiritual realm. Because in the spiritual realm, everything is spirit. Everything is one connected spirit. It's just a matter of shining light on it. So the shiner, Surya, controls the spiritual realm. So you say, Om Bhum Agnaye Swaha, Om Bhava Vayave Swaha, Om Suvaha Surya Swaha. One more thing is, if you look at various manuals on Vedanta, you will see variations. In the longer manuals, it may say Om Bhu Swaha, Agnaye Idam Namama. Some people may say Om Bhu Swaha, Idam Agnaye Namama. These are all variations. It is like saying, this is for Agni this is. They are all basically synonymous. So don't stress out about which is the right version. There is no right version. All of them are right. But I suggest stick to the simple manual because it is the simplest way to do. And the variations are all right. And then so you make these three offerings to the physical realm, mental realm and spiritual realm controller. And in each of these realms, whatever you experience is created at some stage and then maintained, sustained for a while, whether it's a physical thing around you or a mental motion or some spiritual reality that you experience. It is created, it is sustained for a while, and in the end it is destroyed. It is basically ended. And destruction may sound like a negative word, so let's use the word recycling. So recycling. Rubra is the recycler. Destruction is nothing but you recycle it so that it's created again. You end that particular existence so that it's reborn or is then new form. So you say Om Bhurбhuvah Swaha is for Prajapati the creator. Om Vishnave Swaha, it is for sustainer Vishnu. Om Rudraya Swaha, it is for destroyer Rudra. And one conventionally, when you make offering to Rudra, you take a drop of water, Rudra, the soft right hand. You just wash it. The idea is, if somebody is actually experiencing whatever they are doing and connecting with the Devata, when you are thinking of Rudra, Rudra manifests inside you. When you are thinking of Vishnu, Vishnu manifests. So when Rudra manifests, is pure fire. So you just want to cool yourself. So it's just reminding that it is not really meaningful for many people practically, but it's a good idea to keep this tradition so that for somebody later it will be useful. So just put it top of one. And then finally, there are some beings, some attendants of the caste that you are doing rituals to, they can't accept offerings through the prayer. So for them you make offerings physically. So what you do is you take a few raisins, let's say 6 raisins, and put it in the southwest corner of the hospital. Or in the longer manuals you will see specific places where you have to put, but keep it simple. Just put them all in the southwest corner and say Pashade Bhavana. That's it, it's in the manual. So you think of the associates of the attendants, and you just put those. And in the end of the Homa, you can leave them in outside and let ants or some animals take squirrels, birds, take it. You can offer raisins. Some people offer rice balls. So anything that's edible. Some people offer take a banana, make slices, put banana slices. But most important thing is you don't consume it. It is for feeding animals. So in other words, out of the Panchmahayajna, Bhutajna, feeding animals was one of them. So that's segregated. That's it. And in the end there is Purnahati. Purnahati literally means complete surrender. You basically, Purna means complete, Ahuti means surrender. So complete surrender to the God. So traditionally you take a whole copra, a whole dry coconut. You can take normal coconut also, but there will be water. So when at some stage it may burst. So it may scare you. And also that water stream may hurt you. So dry coconut is more commonly used, whole dry coconut. The idea is it looks like head. Head is the center of ego. Your ego, your sense of I am doing this. This is all centered in the head. So something resembling the head is normally good. But the key, that's not the key. Even if I know one priest, when he does homas in homes, in apartments, he just puts ghee as Puna. He just takes a little bit of ghee and say Punahati mantra, that's the Punahati for him. Because it doesn't need to look like head. If it looks like head, it is more easy, it is easier to visualize that you are surrendering to your ego. But the key is, whatever you are offering as Punahati, you think, I thought that I did this, but God did it through me. I am the entire instrument, the main instrument. Have the spirit and then make it. And it can be a raisin, it can be an almond, it can be a cashew, it can be a whole dry coconut, it can be a half dry coconut. The advantage of half or whole dry coconut is it has a lot of oil inside. It burns nicely, once it catches fire. If you put it there and put some ghee around it, and if there is enough fire around it, it will catch fire and burn for 20 minutes without your interruption, your intervention. So you can basically let it burn, and you can sit in front of it, look at the fire for a few seconds and make it. And this is the key. Meditation after the Purnahati. By the way, after the Purnahati, one final offering to Agni is made. You say Om Agnaye Sapate Swaha, which means to Agni the 7th tongue one. With the 7 tongues, Agni is taking the offerings to various lokas, to Devatas residing in the 7 lokas. He is taking. So also in the physical level, with the 7 tongues, he is taking the offerings you are putting into your digestive fire to the 7 tissues in your body. There are 7 tissues, 7 types of tissues in the body. There are many meanings, but Agni is said to have 7 tongues. So Agni is Swaha. You make one final offering. It's like a vote of thanks for enabling this ritual to Agni. And then you meditate. Normally at many temples, what happens is after the Purnahati, everybody gets up and goes. Everybody leaves. In my opinion, that's the comeback thing you can do. When you do Homa, sit there while the Purnahati burns brightly, look at that bright fire for a few seconds. Close your eyes, try to imagine that you are just a dummy. God is the ruler. Just try to brainwash yourself in that and then keep chanting your mantras with complete surrender to the best of your ability. It is likely to be very, very productive again compared to normal meditation. So don't, and also this balances Homa and Japa. You're doing both of them. So you don't have to pick between them, especially integrating Japa and Homa into your ritual. So I suggest strongly never leave after the Purnati meditation. And then you put something that burns by itself for a while, giving fire, that is nice. That is why I suggest using a coconut. If you don't have a lot of coconut, use some piece. So whole half coconut, use a piece of coconut. At least it will burn for 2 minutes. So again, to review the procedure, next slide. The initial offerings, pre-5 portions, especially pranayama, sankalpa, all these things, the 5 steps are common to all puja. And then initial offering to 5 Vedic devatas, the Ganapati and Varuna. And before that, you start the fire with Om Bhut Bhus and make 8 drops of ghee offering with Om Bhut Bhus Swaha. And then these 5 Vedic devatas offering. And then Ganapati, and that's it. That's the initial offerings of the fire. This is during 2 Homa. And then you call the devata into 5 and 2 upacharas, so 5 services corresponding to the 5 elements, like flowers, lamp, incense, stick, etc. And then you make offerings with any mantra, already set up mantra to the devata, and you make the final offerings to those 6 devatas, and then you do Purnati. So this is as simple as that. And I will answer some common questions later. And normally I do live demo here and then answer the question. We'll finish the presentation so that we can get off this. So I will keep it quick because I want you guys to get to do a Homa by 7. So that's my target. So I'll keep it short. There is a video on my YouTube channel, PVR 108. P as in Paul, V as in Victor, R as in Robert, 108, sacred number. So you can go to, my full name is PVR, that's right. So you can go to my YouTube channel and look for a Homa project done a couple of years back, 2022. You can see that video, and there you can see all these questions answered in detail. I will answer them very briefly here. First question is, can one do by oneself? Of course, one can do by oneself. As a matter of fact, the explicit command to my Guru by Devi is to enable people to do their own Homa, irrespective of their background, as long as they are interested in spiritual progress and increasing dharma in the world. And actually, see, there are different dharmashastras for different yugas. For Kali Yuga, Parasara is the authority dharmashastra. Manu was for Satyayuga, Gautama was for Treta Yuga, like the different rishis. For Kali Yuga, it is Parasara. And a book called Parasara Mahimam is a very interesting equation. It says, compared to a ritual done in one's name, a japa, a ritual or Homa, this is a Homa. A ritual or Homa done in one's name by a priest, a ritual done by one's own Guru or Shishya is 100 times more effective. Because there is more attachment. So instead of doing mechanically, they are feeling for your suffering or your progress, etc. So it will, because of that thought, it will work better, 100 times more effective. Compared to that, if one's own son or father does in one's name, it is further 100 times more effective. Because compared to Guru or Shishya, father and son may be even closer to you and may care about you more. Of course, this is subjectively it may change from person to person, but as a thumb rule, it makes sense. And then compared to that, if one does it by oneself, it is further 100 times more effective. So what it means is, compared to a priest doing in your name, if you do it by yourself, it is million times more effective, according to Parasara. So the meaning is, in Kali Yuga, the ability of some even good priest to associate with somebody else and feel for somebody's progress or pain is limited. So you are on your own right now. So that is the real meaning of this. Moreover, instead of getting the puja done once every year or 6 months, you do it regularly, it benefits you better. Instead of eating a 100-course meal once every year, you will only get indigestion. Instead, you eat just some rice and lentils or bread and butter every day. You will get more strength of that. Like that you do on a regular basis. And anyway, this is a Nichikama. Then is a guru needed. If you have a guru who's capable of transferring some Shakti to you, some energy, spiritual energy to you, it is beneficial. But unfortunately, such gurus are there in this yuga, and many gurus are they just want name, fame, etc. So it's not that important. And secondly, even if you don't have guru, if you basically start doing a ritual, Agni himself is the greatest guru. So Agni will become your guru and he will guide you. So you can do without guru. I always give one analogy. If a billionaire's son starts a bank account, the billionaire may give $1 million to him to start the account. So he starts with $1 million, but he can ruin all of it and come to zero. Whereas somebody who has only $100, he can start an account with $100 and he can grow it, he can become a millionaire one day. So what is important is your sadhana, not the starting balance. So by all means, if you have a guru you believe in, take initiation and do it. But if you don't have one, don't let it be something that blocks you. Just start doing and it will help you. And in the end, it may even send a guru to you. It is so to speak. And what is the importance of, actually next slide. Next slide. Yeah. So third, that's third. So previous. Yeah. Stop there. Importance of regularity. As I said, it's more important to do on a regular basis than do once in a while, once in a blue moon. And can non-Brahmanas do it? Again, the explicit command I gave you to my guru was that anybody do who is willing to do. And there are references in scriptures that, for example, in Ramayana time, at Rama's time, people are all varnas, at least the 3 varnas for doing the ritual. And in any case, the way varna is understood today is really misguided. This is not the way it was understood in the old day. So, bottom line is, anybody who is interested in their own spiritual progress and contributing to dharma in the world can do it. As an offering, selfless offering to the universe, you do it. Can women do it? Women can do it. Again, that was the explicit command for Devi. In Ramayana, there is an explicit reference where Kausalya is doing her daily fire ritual in her Antapura Brahma procedure. So, it is fine for women to do. The difference between women and men is only at the physical level. The mental and spiritual level where sadhana actually works, there is really no difference. So, women can certainly do. During periods are not a period of purity as people understand. They are a period of transformation, there is a period of renewal. They are physically speaking in Ayurvedic terms, they are a period of high vata, basically a lot of disturbance in the body, instability. So it is difficult to focus. So there may be exceptions. People may be able to focus. Some lady may be able to focus better in her period than a man in normal times. But the thing is, as a thumb rule, it is better to avoid during periods, take it easy. But it's not a question of purity. Some people say, why do you need to do rituals? You just realize that all is self. Basically, the Sura Vedanta term. See, all is self. Sarvam Khalidam Brahma is true. But the thing is, gathering it won't make you realize it and make it, and basically make it part of your instincts and common sense. Like, let me give an analogy, let me give a hypothetical scenario. Suppose somebody comes and cuts off my hand and blood is oozing far. And I know that I am going to die in few seconds or minutes. And I can't say this cut hand is Brahman, this blood is oozing out is Brahman, this remaining body is Brahman, and this Brahman will mention Brahman in a few seconds and remain at peace. If I can remain at peace, I am enlightened. Then I don't need rituals. But we are not there. Just saying that all is Brahman is different from being in that equanimous state all the time, no matter the circumstances, is not easy. So to make it more permanent in your instincts, your thinking process, you need to overcome your vasanas, your conditioning. You do need to do some practice. You can't say that I'll just read the scriptures and just keep thinking I'm self, and I'll become better. Never happen. You need in Yoga system, Vasishtha teaches Rama that karma and jnana, wisdom and action are 2 wings which the word of individual self flies into the sky of sense and divides itself. So we need both. We need balance between the action and wisdom. Without wisdom, keep doing actions, you'll get stuck. Without actions, if you just repeat wisdom, you get stuck. You need to do both. So rituals are useful, especially fire is very important. And some people are scared of mistakes. What if I make a mistake? Will terrible things happen to you? Happen to me if I do mistake. So this is a barrier for some people. Just don't get into rituals because they're scared of making mistakes. So if you are doing some service to your parents, if you make mistakes, they're not mad at you. They're basically they're tolerant and they want your good. So think of this as an offering to your parents. All these devatas, just you are expressing your gratitude. You have nothing to worry. Only thing is, if you get into the monkey business of doing a ritual for, let's say, a particular political leader staying in power or some political leader falling, you are doing for specific tamasic purposes, then for those also there are specific rituals, specific materials, specific mantras, specific counts, etc. recommended. Those are like contracts with your father. You basically are suing your father to basically give a particular house to you. So then your paperwork has to be perfect, because you have to care about mistakes. So when you are doing for specific results like that, especially not sattvic, you have to worry. But when you are making a selfless offering to God, you have nothing to worry. Even if there are mistakes, Agni is purified. As I said, one of his names is Pavaka, purified. He will correct your mistakes slowly and steadily. So trust Agni and keep doing. Yes, sir.
If you want a job or a spouse or something like this, is that considered sattvic?
I consider it as sattvic because you see, having dharma, artha, kama, moksha, these are basically things that you, these are the purushartha, these are things that we strive for. So, if your son is not married, you want him to get married. If your wife basically is unhealthy and you want her health to improve, and things like that, you don't have a job, you want to get a job. These are dharmic. Instead of sattvic, let's use the word dharmic. These are dharmic. So those are fine. If you want somebody's destruction, some corrupt politician's success, these are all really dicey things. Some people do these and get away with temporarily, but eventually they have to pay for it. So I suggest don't do such things, but do only for yourself and people you deeply care about and things that are considered as dharmic. And having a job is not dharmic. But the thing is, if you want to become a billionaire, destroy some people, if you are doing further, that may be up. So use your judgment, use your common sense, but as long as it's dharmic, it's fine to take a sankalpa. But my final word is this. See, Matsyendra or Matsyendra, one of the Navanathas, he said, if you don't ask, you get milk. If you ask, you get water. If you try to snatch it, you get blood. What it means is, if you don't ask for anything, even if you badly need a job, you don't ask for a job, you will get what is really best for you. Sometimes, job may not be the right thing for you. You may look for a job and you may not get a job. You may get frustrated. You may start a small shop or small business. It may grow bigger. You may become billionaire one day. You never know. These things are tough to know. So, after going through the alley of failures, you may get into you may open into a bright city of great success. So, you never know what is the right destiny for you. God knows. So, if you trust God and make selfless offering and just pray, give me so. That's why in the Sankalpa I use the word Sukha-Santi. If you have, and not just for you, for all world. And specifically you can ask for your own Sukha-Santi. So if you ask for well-being and peace, whatever else is needed for those, God will give at the right time. So that is my recommendation. But it is fine. If you really want to add something, you can do it. Then, yeah, this is what we were talking about. Specific results for spiritual progress. In general, it's better to ask for spiritual progress. And then specific results will come. I know many people who were, for example, some people were struggling with addictions, drug addictions, alcohol addictions. They started doing Homa every weekend, and after 2 months, they were able to overcome the addiction. They went to treatments earlier, they could not. So that was the result. Another person, he was out of job, he did it for 16 days, on the 16th day, suddenly he was out of job for 2 years, he got a job. These things can happen, but they don't have to happen. What is right for you is based on your own karmic momentum. If you don't know fully, only God knows, so leave it to God, is my suggestion. And then some people say Japa is superior to Homa because it's Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Yamam Rishis I am Guru, Yamam Mans I am Markasisha, Yamam Vedas I am Samaveda, Yamam Mantras I am Om, Yamam Homa Yajnas I am Japya. So he said, so some people say Japa is superior to Homa, you just do Japa. What Sri Krishna described there is the pinnacle. And he says, I am. He's talking about I, self, the pinnacle. So, among all mantras, Om is the pinnacle. All mantras converge in Om. But you don't just do Om, you do all various mantras. And even Krishna devotees do Hare Krishna mantra. So, all mantras are there for a purpose. So, you can't just get to the pinnacle of the mountain without taking a path. And there are many paths. So, all these mantras are like many paths. Similarly, the fire ritual is basically like climbing a mountain. And the japa is basically like the pinnacle. Once you do fire ritual enough, once your Atma, your soul has been awakened enough, it is basically shining brightly. The conditioning of the mind is not overpowering it as much as it used to do. Then Even if you do japa, it is like Homa because your inner fire is stronger now. When the inner fire is strong, japa is like Homa. But inner fire is normally not strong. To strengthen it, it is good to do Homa forever. And then some people recently, one guy who became popular on a podcast, he's a tantric. I used to know him very well in the past. He basically claims that we are all Homasras, we are basically Rakshasas, we are teaching wrong things, and Homa can only be done as Dasams Homa. So if some people have been influenced by that, just one word. Dasams Homa is basically you do japa of a mantra for n times, suppose lakh times, and 1/10 of the time you do Homa, and then for 100th of time you do Tapana. Like that, there is a procedure for getting siddhi in a mantra. This is what some tantrics and some people do. And that is valid. It is one of the applications of Homa. It is not keep only up. The analogy I will give you is, suppose you want to cook Rajma dal, red kidney beans, or garbanzo beans, chole. If you soak it for 10 hours in the night, and you cook it for 1 hour in the morning, it's perfectly cooked and you get the right taste. But the problem is, if people don't have that kind of time, if you just have 1 hour to prepare it, you can't, it's dumb to say that I'll soak it for 50 minutes and cook it for 10 minutes. Better cook it for 1 hour, it will work better. So like that, in today's world, if people are unable to do japa, just do Homa. And as I said, as Purnahati is burning, you do Homa, japa. So suppose you do half hour Homa, half hour japa. 15-minute Homa, 15-minute japa. You are finding the right balance in my opinion, it is better. And it is not necessary that you have to do Homa as a part of Dasams Homa. But it can be done. One more thing is, suppose you are cooking moong dal. You don't have to soak it for 10 hours. You can directly like that. Those procedures are for certain tantric mantras, some complicated mantras. It is better to use that procedure, so it's not necessary. And moreover, rishis did Homa as a sadhana, as a standalone sadhana. So it is perfectly fine to do Homa as a standalone sadhana. Finally, is it better to, some practical tips, next slide. Is it better to do indoor or outdoor? It is definitely better to do outdoor. When you do Homa, the energy is basically in the space. Instead of limiting it to the living space of the world, if you leave it to nature, that is the best way to offer it back to the universe. So best is doing it outdoors. And moreover, practically, the smoke, if the smoke is going away, it is better because the smoke can cause cancer. Any smoke, even if it is Homa, some people say, oh, it is Homa smoke, it is auspicious. That's not true. It has auspicious spiritual vibrations. But the physical smoke is not auspicious. So you need to make sure that there is enough ventilation and you're not breathing a lot of smoke. And doing outdoors is the best. And you guys are living in great weather. For me, I can do outdoors only 5 to 6 months of the year. Rest of the time is possible. But doing it outdoor is better. But if you can't do it indoor and minimize the smoke. For example, I know somebody who does in a high-rise building in Dubai, high-rise apartment building. He opens a window and he does it close to the window. Not close enough that window catches fire, but away enough, but basically close enough that smoke will go. So like that, basically finding ways to ventilate and get the smoke out. And that's one thing. The other thing is, if you are doing outdoors, you can do any materials. You can do wood, you can do whatever materials you want to offer. But if you are doing indoors, the ideal materials for minimum smoke are sesame seeds, black and white. And Shastras particularly recommend black and white sesame. Black sesame for physical result, white sesame for mental and spiritual results. And both are very auspicious and they don't create a lot of smoke because there is a lot of oil. In general, substances that have a lot of oil, they burn nicely without a lot of smoke. The dry coconut, you can use half, whole or pieces, 1 inch by 1 inch pieces, roughly. You don't have to measure and cut. Some of you may be engineers, but don't measure. Roughly you take and use pieces, they burn nicely. And instead of putting one big coconut, you make pieces. When one is burning nicely, the other will catch fire from it. When this is losing fire, that will catch fire from it. Basically, it's kind of like when people are doing sadhana together, when one person loses motivation, another person is motivated. Kind of like that. So use several pieces and lay them out. And nuts will burn nicely. Almonds, cashews, walnuts, pecan, they burn nicely without lot of smoke. And when you are offering ghee, don't offer like ladle fruits of ghee. You will get a big pile of ghee in your home. Offer offer that drops of ghee and put it where the fire is or near the fire. Instead of offering on the fire, near the fire, around the fire if you offer, other stuff also catches fire. And then the other important thing is good air circulation around the offered materials is important. So make sure that you are not all offering one place, make a fire, offer around. So space you are offering, both in time and space. Don't offer all at once, offer take a gap, offer some materials, take a gap, offer key, then offer nuts again. Take a break and offer key, then offer nuts again like that. You basically space them out and also offer in different parts of the so that everything catches fire. So, and as far as firewood and powder cakes are concerned, they produce water. Most of them. You can get some kiln dry firewood in US that creates less smoke. And in general, what I found is some wood like European build that produces very little smoke compared to oak or maple, etc. So you can experiment and find wood that works for you. And also it's a big fat wood, wood log. If you can cut them into thin slices, there are wood splitters that you can get Home Depot and other places. If you use this size, this thick wood log, they will basically burn nicely, but you have to keep offering every 5-10 minutes. So you find the right balance for you, but they do produce more. So if you are doing in an apartment where there is not a lot of inflation stuff, and powder cake, they are very auspicious, but they produce a lot more. And Havan Samagri that you get at Indian store, that also produces a lot of more. And also these days you get some plastic pieces in them, so be careful. It may not be pure, so be careful with that. And the other thing is, some people I know who do in apartments, they offer, they do in their apartment, and in the end, they do just sesame seeds, nuts and coconut, very little smoke at the end. When the punahati is completely burnt and fire is withdrawing, then you will get some puffs out. So what they do is, at that time they take it outside and put it outdoors, outside on the patio or something, or they put it on the kitchen stove and then turn on the exhaust fan. So smoke goes there and you do it for 3 to 5 minutes and then you can take it. And one more thing is, if you are leaving it outside, or if you do it outside and you are leaving, the fire has withdrawn and you are leaving, don't leave the homeowner like that, because there will be ambers and they can basically, if there is a lot of wind, it can go away and there can be a fire accident. So what I recommend is, cover it with an aluminum foil. You cover on all the, seal on all the 4 sides, an aluminum foil that's larger than the side, and then poke 2 holes in it. One for oxygen to come in, one for carbon dioxide to go out. So if you poke just 2 holes in the aluminum foil, the fire that is inside will keep consuming. So things will become more ash-kind in the end. And one thing I recommend is, if you are doing homa on a regular basis, it is better to be vegetarian. And it is better to avoid alcohol. That is ideal. But the thing is, if the choice is between eating meat and not doing homa, or eating meat and doing homa, it is better to eat meat and do homa. So don't skip homa for alcohol and meat. If you cannot skip them, still do homa. But it will be ideal to not take alcohol, drugs, meat, etc. And at least a couple of hours before the homa, don't take. And as I said in the beginning, close where whatever is comfortable for you, whatever is natural for you, something that doesn't distract your mind with it. Something that's simple enough. And the best times to do homa are sunrise and sunset, 1 hour before and after. Not the best times. The energy is very positive. But if it is not practical for you, do it anywhere. It is fine. And if you have a chance to do homa during an eclipse, it is particularly powerful. So consider when the next eclipse comes. If it is a lunar eclipse, it should be visible in your area. Otherwise, it's not effective. If it's a solar eclipse, it's effective irrespective of what is visible in your area. So when the next eclipse comes, you can try to do a homa during that time. That can really help both with sadhana for a desire or sadhana basically for spiritual progress. And I don't recommend allowing others to, which is good. I don't recommend allowing other people to make offerings in your homa, because when somebody makes an offering to the fire, they are basically, if you do it on a regular basis, there is a connection between that fire and your fire. So they are basically making offerings in your fire, and their karmas are basically back with you. So it's not a good idea. Tell them to do in their own home, That is ideal. But people who are whose karmas are anyway closely intertwined with your karmas, like your parents, children, spouse, it is fine, siblings. People who are very closely connected to karma, it is fine to let them make offerings. And some people blindly say that, oh, if you do Homa, your Pitta dosha will increase. Pitta is basically fire related dosha in Ayurvedic. Your Pitta will increase, so don't do Homa. You are a Pitta person, so don't do Homa. The thing is, fire element is not just Pitta dosha. Fire element is, there are three things called Ojas, Tejas and Prana. When your water and earth elements are positive, they become your Ojas, they become your Stamina. And when they are vitiated, they become your Kapha dosha. Then there is a lot of flooding in the body, you struggle with all those Kapha related issues. So, if you are triggering the earth element in a positive way, it doesn't increase Kapha. Similarly, the fire element and the water element together, they create Pitta when vitiated. When they are positive, sattvic, they become your Tejas, your energy. So, it is dumb to say that because you are a Pitta person, fire is bad for you. Fire actually purifies that Pitta and converts it to Tejas. So, it's kind of like saying you are a Vata person, so don't breathe. Air element is bad for you. You have to breathe. And so, similarly, some people say fire planets, Sun or Mars is in the 8th house in your chart, don't do Homa. That is all. Anybody can do Homa. As a matter of fact, must do Homa. This is a brushing teeth. This is a Nityakarma. Just like you brush teeth every day, you are supposed to do this every day. Because people don't do it, it has been normalized. Not doing it has been normalized now. But this is like brushing teeth. So even if you don't know the perfect technique for brushing teeth, you don't have the perfect toothpaste or tooth powder, you still brush. So this is like that. And which devata to worship? My suggestion is whatever devata you are normally attached to is the best devata for you. But start with Ganu. And then switch to the devata after a couple of months. And we can expand the procedure based on the simple manual. You can take longer sankalpa if you want, but it is fine to stick to the simple sankalpa. And I addressed these already. And we can use long shlokas like Sahasranama Stotram, like Sahasranama Stotram. Or you can just say Om Namo Narayana. Both are fine. Please never said this is superior, this is inferior. All the superiority, inferiority, quarrels that come online and between different personalities are their own projections of ego. It's not the way of Rishi. Rishis were compassionate. They knew that what is good for Guzi is not good for Gandhi. Everybody, Logo Bhinarishiji, everybody has their own taste. So they gave 13 options so that you can pick what works for you. So you basically can pick whatever is convenient for you. If you have good focus, I recommend small mantras. You take a simple one and keep repeating it. If you don't have good focus, you take a long one, you have to keep track of where you are so that it anchors your mind. So you figure out based on what is working for you, where you are able to focus better. If you are unable to do Homa when you are traveling or you are in an apartment where there is no ventilation, Deep Homa can be done. You can light a lamp, a ghee lamp, and after a drop of, not on the fire, but around the fire. Make an after a heat drop every time you say Swaha, so that's called Deep Homa. That can also be done. But the bigger the fire, the more impact it is, more impactful. But instead of nothing, this is better. And you get to Mansik Homa. After you do Homa sufficiently enough time, if your internal fire is strong enough, you can just do Japa. What I do is when I am traveling, when I can't do physical Homa, I just sit for meditation. I imagine a Homakunda in my Muladhara Chakra, and when I say good pose, Soro, I imagine that a fire is lit in my Sushumna Nadi, in the middle of my spine, and I call Japa into that fire, and I basically make all the offerings to that fire. So it is all mental, so that is also effective, but after you have done Homa enough and your fire is strong enough. So that can be done, Mansik Homa and Jathan Homa. When you are eating, with every bite you are taking, you can think of a mantra and imagine that you are offering, may Jathan take it to them. So that is also a way of Homa, because what you are eating will give you strength. So it is also an offering to the gods inside. And then one last thing, people see shapes in Homa. When they do Homa, when they take a picture, a Krishna or Durga like appearance may come in the picture, and people get carried away. People post pictures on social media, it goes viral. The thing is, my suggestion is, when you call God to fight, God will come. You have that faith. Whether or not somebody clicked a picture exactly at the moment it looks like that card, doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, this is an ego trap. You think that, oh, I can't, I was successful. It's the start of your doing. So these are distractions. Forget about all that nonsense. You just believe that God is there and submit, that's enough. If somebody says, I met Sachin Tendulkar and I have a picture with him, it doesn't matter. You know Sachin Tendulkar, but are you a good cricketer? Did you learn anything from him? So if God-like figure appeared in the fire, it doesn't matter. Did it impact you? Did it transform you? That is the key. So focus on your inner transformation and all the external show off. So my suggestion is don't prefer those things. Don't even take pictures. Just let the fire burn and you just wait. Try to basically transform this. I will skip this. You can do multiple javadas. I will actually demonstrate it in the Homa here. And last thing, last thing. When you do Homa at home, the burnt material, what I suggest is the core, there will be some coal like hard stuff and there will be some ash like soft stuff, whitish stuff, grayish, whitish stuff, when you do Homa. So leave it basically. Use it as the base for the next Homa. Next weekend, next day, you are doing Homa, put the dry copper pieces on it and then put camphor on it, start Homa, start fire and do Homa. Let it, keep doing it, and once every month or so, once every few weeks, filter it. Whatever is fine ash powder, basically take it out. And what to do with it, I will tell later. And the coals, leave it out, use it as a base so that it burns finer in future. So that is what I will recommend. And the ash, you can apply it on your forehead, you can apply it anywhere on your body. You can basically use that as a blessing. And some people actually put it on their tongue and eat it. The Incas of South America, who built Machu Picchu, they had an interesting tradition. They used to do Homa, the fire. They didn't have that name, but it's fire ritual, the sun god and moon god. So they basically filtered the powder and that ash, they boiled and made tea and they drank that tea. It had the essence of the spiritual essence of the mantra that they chanted. So they drank as it. And it is rich in minerals. The other thing you can do it is you can use that fertilizer. It is very rich in minerals. So if you have a garden or farm, you can use that as fertilizer. And the other traditional way is you leave it in flowing water. Basically you are offering it to the universe. If it is in flowing water, its essence is in the river or lake or ocean, and it will evaporate, go to clouds, and it will come back, it will get into your food, etc. So people just put it in the flowing water, but be careful with it. If you do it here, somebody takes a picture, they think that you are a terrorist or doing something, so be careful. So make sure that it's legal area. And as I said, Vedic astrologer, not G, astrologer.org, easyhoma.org, easyhoma.org. This is the main website. Others will point to that now, point to specific pages there, but eventually they will become standalone websites. So thousands, actually tens of thousands of people are doing Homa by themselves across the world, in countries you won't imagine. Countries like Bangladesh, Dubai, Muslim countries, Russia, Ukraine, Latvia, Japan. People are just discovering the Homa manuals and doing Homa by themselves. So please share this information with any trusted people and give it a try. So I'll demonstrate. I'll probably half hour and do a quick Homa, and then we will all do the 3 Homas that I mentioned. And also Sunny is about to send. It is coming to a good time. As I said, 1 hour before and after sunrise and sunset. Okay, thank you. That's the end of presentation. And you can take the computer out. Take a 5-minute break. We'll start the conference.
So just 1 second. Yeah. So before we take a 5-minute break, so on behalf of the temple, we want to pray. Hello? Yeah, so before we take a 5-minute break, on behalf of the temple, we want to felicitate Narasimha Ji a little bit. So for that, I am requesting the President Visanti to please felicitate Narasimha Ji. Thank you so much for your lecture and for enlightening us. Please give claps for him. Please. Yeah, please. Come. Take photos.
First of all, I want to thank Hindu Yuva Sangha for organizing this one. Thank you. I don't know all the people's names, but I should share the kind word to all of us. And also, a few months back, I was thinking of doing the red research from a Homa, and I've been following him for a very long time and doing the Homa. So I thought it's like a coincidence. He came and he taught us. So the practical is going to come and we can all do practical actually doing the Homa, and now October 6th, please sponsor that 108 and make it happen, and we all can participate in a real Homa according to these instructions. It is Lalpa Sanstana. Thank you.
This is my demand, but start putting this distribution so that immediately after this exam, want to draft that. Yes.
Yes, on this. Yeah. What's that? Okay. Yes. That's fine.
Hello everyone. So if you filled out the form and paid the $20, I'll announce your names and you can come and get your samadhi from this table, okay?
Yeah. No, so basically I can bring like a lot of this, but I am not sure more.
This will burn very fast.
Anjuji Jaiswal,
Half coconut will run, but some Purna apple will work.
We will burn, not burn.
I see.
So what?
So like what will be the
Anirudhji Vinayak Ram, Lavanya Gudla, Lavanya Gudla, Navneet Macherla, Navneet, Rajan Singh, Walji Ellen, Ratnaji, and Raj. Vijay Harinath, Akhilesh Mohan, Akhilesh, and Archana Goyal,
Give me some hint. This is water. Yeah, water and tea. I'll bring some metals.
Naveen Vignesh,
I need melted.
Yeah.
Akshay, Sameer Jain, Preeti Sharma, Anjali ji Malapur, Pratosh Kumar, Mamata ji and Nitin ji Tatu. Sridevi ji Pandari. Did I miss anybody's names? Alright, so go to New Mexico Tech students.
Camphor and mastic. That's fine. I use this. You need to fight. You won't get that's fine.
Anything else?
Yes. Maybe. I'm all set. So, yeah, all set.
Tempered? Yeah. Homa Movement, please take some photos.
Alright, participants who already have their own samadhi, do you need any refills? Do you need anything that you forgot to bring?
And another thing is that please keep a little more gap between these two rows. Please keep a little more gap.
Okay, we'll start. So you can follow the manual what I am doing, but because I am doing not only Ganpati, everybody can hear me, there's no mic. So I will try to stick to it, but because I am used to a slightly longer procedure, some extra steps may come. Don't worry about them, but basically go along and follow the flow. And then once we are done with the basic stuff, we start the Pradhan Homa, the main Devata. I'll use different main Devatas, Ganpati, Lakshmi, Vishnu, but I want to not spend a lot of time, half hour. So it will be just a few times for each Devata. I want all of you to chant around. Okay. Om Jai Namaha. Om Sri Mahaganapatiye Namaha. This is just something I'm saying, you don't need to say it. But be express your gratitude in the mind to Mother Earth, and then basically think of Ganpati. You can hear me better now, right? Okay. Om Gurevya Namaha. Then I'm thinking of Ganpati in my mind. Then that is the earth element being stabilized. Then Achamanam. Om. First, put a drop of water next to that your hand is free. And then Om Kesavaya Swaha. Om Narayanaya Swaha. Om Madhavaya Swaha. That's Achamanam. That basically is the water. Then I already lit a lamp, otherwise you light a lamp then. And basically looking at the lamp for a couple of seconds, basically that triggers the fire element, it hits the optical nerve. Then pranayama. And I don't have akshadas here. You can normally take sankalpa with akshadas, but you can take with water also. So I'll just take sankalpa with water. Om Mama Samasta Dutta Khaitwara Shri Parmeshwar Prichatham Guloke Dhammasthapanatham Sarvesham Jananam Suksham Siddhitham Sakala Devata Prasada Siddhitham Sakala Devata Homa Karma Atyanta Laghvidhanena Thasakti Karishye. I said for various devatas in a very brief way, I'll do Homa for the benefit of the world. So that is the 5 elements covered. Then if you look at the manual, next step is starting the fire. To start the fire with Om Bhutbhuva Swaha. So for that, you can use incense stick, or if you have, oh, I asked for camphor, so you didn't get camphor. Get this camphor. Thank you. So what I suggest is, here we have these thin slices. They will burn very fast. If you have like I mentioned, half-inch by half-inch copra pieces, they will burn longer time. So whether it is this or those pieces, lay them in the home kunda, and then put a couple of camphor pieces on top of them, and then light them. You can just light it a matchstick. Or I have a deepa here, so I will lamp from this. I will light from this. Om Bhutbhuva Swaha. Put a couple of camphor pieces, I will light with another camphor.
For the participants, it will be next round. This round is all.
Yeah, you don't do now, you just follow me.
Just, yeah.
Om Bhutbhuva Swaha. And then what I suggest is, practically speaking, put some pieces, copra pieces, in a position that they are in touch with the fire, so that they can catch fire and the fire will grow. So put them in a good position around the fire. And then, what is the next step? 8 drops of ghee. Some people do 16. Basically for a baby, you can do different samskaras. There are different levels of samskaras. So we will do 8 here. And here I am using metal spoon, but at home, if possible, use wood or copper. Those are expensive. Wood, copper, silver. Om Bhutbhuva Swaha. 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 Now the fire has grown, and the copra pieces around it will slowly catch fire. Om Gaya Namaha, Agni Namaha, Somaya Namaha. This is not in the manual. And then there is another step. Yeast is this way, right? this way. This copy is not in these manuals, but it is in other manuals. Basically, it's creating water flowing from southwest to northeast along all the edges. Basically, that is good vastu. So you are simulating the vastu. Now the 5 Vedic devata are happening. Om Prajapataye Swaha. Prajapataye idam namama. Again, the second part is not in. So I'll try to stick to it. Om Indraya Swaha. Om Agnaye Swaha. Om Vamaya Swaha. Om Bhuvasva Swaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Vam Varunaya Namah Swaha. Now we finished the initial offerings. The next step is calling the devata. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Atra Agacha. Now, believe that God is, Ganapati is in the fire. So now think that Ganapati is here. Offer the Upacharas to Om Lam Trivyatmane Namaha. This is sandalwood powder, but I am offering you only here. Om Ham Akashatmane Namaha. There are other versions where you say Om Ham Akashatmane Namaha Pushpam Samarpayami like that, but simplest version is Om Ham Akashatmane Namaha. Om Yam Vayuvatmane Namaha. Om Ram Agnyatmane Namaha. Now I have a deepam, so I will show the lamp. Om Vam Amritatmane Namaha. This is Naivedyam. I have some raisins, so I am offering raisins. Om Sam Sarvatmane Namaha. This is all elements. So at home, if you have an arrangement where you have sandalwood powder, flower, incense stick, you can basically offer all those when you say that. And one small word is, for Ganapati is the Atmane. If it is lady, it will be Atmikaye. And if it is two devatas, it's Atmabhyam. Lam Prithvyatmabhyam. Suppose you are doing a Homa, the Parvati and Shiva together. It is Lam Prithvyatmabhyam. Suppose you are doing for multiple devatas, like Saptashis, you are doing together, and Navagrahas you are doing together, more than 2. Then it is plural, instead of dual or singular. Then it is Lam Prithvyatmabhyo Namaha, Ham Akashatmabhyo Namaha. So the endings will be different. If you know Sanskrit, you will figure it out. If you don't know, what you can do is, you can see actually there are different manuals in the website. So take the right manual. Suppose you want to do for 3 devatas or 4 devatas, you take the right template. So there are manuals for 2 devatas, 3 devatas, 7 devatas, and then husband and wife together. Also 3 devatas, female devatas. So you take that from the right template, right manual, you can get it. So here, so we offered all the 5 elements. Now Pradhan, do some mantra. Om. I'll do Gananampa. Those who know, Ella, chant with me. I'll just do 4 times. Om Gananampa. Brahmanaspatana. Swaha. Om Gananampa. Ganapatim Hamahe. Kavim Kavinam. Pamasya Yachara Brahmana. Brahmanaspatana. Swaha. It is in the manual. One small note is, if you are doing Veda mantras, you don't know the ups and downs, the intonation. You can do with one tone. Gananam Ganapatim Hamahe is also fine. Om Gananam Ganapatim Hamahe Kavim Kavinam Pamasya Vasamam Yachara Brahmana Brahmanaspatana Swaha. That's enough. We'll do the other one. Om Shri. You can read from the manual. Om Shri Hri Shri Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanamye Vashmanaya Swaha. Om Shri Hri Kli Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanamye Vashmanaya Swaha. Om Shri Hri Kli Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanamye Vashmanaya Swaha. Hare, Varavarada, Sarvajaname, Vashmanaya Swaha, Oshat. One small note, one convention. It's not necessary. You can just say Swaha at the end also. Saying Oshat instead of Swaha when you are making the final offering is one convention in the tradition that I am from. So last time you said Oshat. The mantra by itself has Swaha, so I did not add a second Swaha, but in the end I added a Oshat. Now we'll do a simpler one. Om Gam Ganpataye Namah. Om Gam Ganpataye Namah Swaha. 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 One small tip is, convention is when you are making offering. Instead of offering like this, you offer like this, as if you are accepting, you are not giving. So that is the convention. But suppose you by mistake you put like this, don't do it, it's fine. But see, all these rules are to optimize. So optimize when you can. If you make a mistake, no, it is just. So it's not that this is bad, this is bad. One more thing. Just say Om Gam Ganpataye Namah Swaha, Om Gam Ganpataye Namah Swaha, Om Gam Ganpataye Namah Swaha. You can do more count that way. So because people are chasing counts more often, they want to say 108 times, they chant fast. In my strong opinion, that's a dumb thing. Say it slowly and enjoy it. Suppose you are telling your father or mother or child or your wife or husband, I love you. You don't say I love you, love you, love you, 100 times. It doesn't mean anything. You just say one time. It means more to the person. So basically feel what you are, when you are chanting the mantra, feel every letter and think that Ganpati is in front of you in the fight and you are offering that mantra to him. Om Gam Ganpataye Namah Swaha. To feel some connection and emotion, think that you are offering to a real person. So even if you do less count, you do with more feeling, it will be more effective. Om Gam Ganpataye Namah Swaha. Om Gam Ganpataye Namah Swaha. Om Gam Ganpataye Namah Swaha. We finished with that. Now we can actually do the final 6 offerings and do Purnahati and Bini. So you can really do this in 5 minutes. But the thing is, if you like a particular mantra, I suggest do it like 108 times, 216 times, do long enough. Try to do 15-20 minutes, the whole 5 ritual. The beginning part, ending part, in the simplified way, is hardly 5 minutes. So the main mantra you can do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, there should be a problem. So I suggest 15-20 minutes is at least a good time. But if you are in a hurry, you can do it in 5 minutes. And you can do just with this much coconut and just a few drops of ghee you can do, if you have a small one. One tip on Hongkonda. Whatever you are using, ideal shapes are this pyramid shape or the round shape. Round shape is for peace and well-being, and this is generally. And the thumb rule is compared to the side of the rectangle, the depth has to be at least half of that, half or more. So if it is very shallow, the idea is things will spread around and they will not burn nicely. So if it is deep enough, things have a better chance of catching fire. So that's the thumb rule. By the way, I need more coconut. So you said more, we have more, right? So put more back here. I will need more. So
more coconut.
get more back, open them and put and keep offering. So make sure that if you buy a standard Hongkonda at an Indian store, it will satisfy that criteria. But if you are buying a bowl like that, make sure that compared to the diameter of the circle, the depth has to be at least half. So otherwise, it will not be very effective in terms of things burning nicely. Okay, next day avatar. Now. Now we'll do yes.
What mantra will we say for the Pitru?
Pitru Devata, there is a Pitru Homa in it. There is a Vyada mantra, there is a simple Nam mantra, you can do that. But for Pitru, Tarpana is more useful than Homa. See, Homa, it is fire. Tarpana, it is water. Our mind is basically various hormones, etc. Mind is more linked to the water, and soul is more linked to the fire. So the offerings and the fire, they resonate with the soul. So whatever you are offering here, they reach the soul of the devata, the rishi, whoever you are offering to. It is basically connection of the soul. And the tarpana, it is a connection of the mind level. So the desires of the mind. So those desires, basically you are cutting off your connection and they can move on. So it is basically at the mind level. And pitru, you can connect to them at the soul level also, but mind level is more deep. But Homa is auspicious and the manual is there on the website. And apart from these, black sesame seeds are a very good option. And ideally, now I am facing west direction. Ideally, you face each direction when you do Homa, or not east. Ideally is east, but just for Homa, ideally south.
Southwest.
Face south. South is the direction of it. Now, Om Vishnave Namaha. Atra Agacha. I said, Vishnu, please come here. Some Sarvatmane Namaha, Sarvopajara Puja Namaskaram Samarpayami. I didn't do Panchopajara, 5 services. I just did 1. And I'll start making up. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha Harafishan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha. 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 Om Namo Narayanaya 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 Swaha. One more titi. When you say Swaha, that is when you should offer. At that time. But the thing is practically your hand and mouth coordination may not be perfect. It may not be exact second. Sometimes it may be too early, too late. Don't worry about it too much if you make a mistake. It's fine. But ideally, while saying Swaha, you make offer. If you can do that, you can. Om Namo Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Narayanaya Swaha. Now 600. Om Vishnave Namaha Swaha. 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 Now we'll do Lakshmi. This time I won't call her in the fight, I'll just make offerings. See, that way also you can do. See, in the beginning we were making offerings to Prajapati, Indra. We didn't call them in the fight. We just made offerings and Agni will take them to them. So, Agni is a messenger who can take it even if you don't put the right address, right name, etc. on the envelope. So, calling the Devata is one way, another way is just make offering. Agni will make sure that you reach the Devata. So, we'll do for Lakshmi a simple mantra. Om Shri Hri Mahalakshmi Namaha Swaha. It's a 9-letter mantra. 9-letter mantras are good for 42. Om Shri Hri Mahalakshmi Namaha Swaha. 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 Now we do a simple Ram mantra. Oh, this is the table mantra of Sadhguru Samatthanga. Om Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Swaha. Om Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Swaha. Om Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Swaha. Om Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Swaha. Om Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Yes. ISKCON mantra, but reverse order. The correct order given it, Kalisanta mantra. Om Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Swaha. Om Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Swaha. Om Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh, next one only Krishna. Clean. We won't say Om and actually we'll add it. The actual mantra is without Om. We'll add it. Om Clean Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Vallabhaya Swaha. 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 Okay. Now we'll do simple Narasimha mantra. The mantra is Om Namo Narasimhaya. If you add Shraum Bija in front of it, Shraum is poison removing Bija. Not only physical, mental and spiritual. In all ways, it removes the poison. So, Om Shraum Namo Narasimhaya. Om Shraum Namo Narasimhaya Swaha. 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 One more Narasimha mantra. This is a very powerful mantra given by Shiva to Parvati in a coded way, but now it is decoded and it is available online. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu Galantam Sarvamkham Nrisimham Ketnam Madram Mrityum Namam means the one who causes death to death itself. He can remove any obstacles from your way if you do enough time. See, with mantras, they work, but you have to do enough time. And particularly with fire, it works fast. So those who know this mantra, please chant along. Om Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu Galantam Sarvamkham Nrisimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamyaham Swaha. Om Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu Galantam Sarvamkham Nrisimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamyaham Swaha. Om Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu Galantam Sarvamkham Nrisimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamyaham. Now we'll do Shiva and Parvati together, a simple mantra. Om, actually we'll do three. Om Aim Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya, then Om Hreem Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya, then Om Kleem Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya. Aim is Srishti Bija, creation. Hreem is Sthiti Bija, sustenance. Kleem is Laya Bija, recycle. So we'll do with all those three Bijas, Shiva and Parvati. Shiva is the cumulative potential energy of the cosmos. Parvati is the cumulative kinetic energy of the cosmos. They are just two sides of the sun. They are just keep converting from one to other. They are basically two aspects of the same. That is why they are shown as images. Om Aim Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Swaha. 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 One thing you have to do, you will learn this practice. For few times you may mess up and fire may withdraw eventually. What you have to do is when fire is in the beginning, that the material is catching fire, fire is bright. You will get bright fire. when slowly, when that material is fully burnt, fire is withdrawing. At that time, you have to add new material if you want the fire to keep going. Unless you want to end and basically do the final offense. You have to know how to keep the fire going. You can't let it completely go. When it is lowering in intensity, you keep adding. This is kind of like life. In life, you have intensity, some new mission, new things you want to do. You have a lot of energy. After a while, it will start dimming down. At that time, you have to find new passion and direct your energy towards it. You're done. Be prepared for basically end of things. So it is kind of Homa is really like life journey. Now we'll do the second one. Om Hari Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Swaha. 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 Last one. Om Kli Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Swaha. 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 We'll do one. In Sokariwal, we did Ganpati. We'll do one for Subramanya Swami. We'll do a simple, say, 6-letter mantra. The mantra is Saravana Bhava. That's the mantra. We'll just Swaha it. Om Saravana Bhava Swaha. 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 We'll do one more in the teacher form, Guru Guha. You see Muthuswami Dikshita's compositions in Carnatic music, they all have Guru Guha appearing in it. Guru Guha gave a darshan to him in Kashi and he blessed him. So this is the form of Karteya where he is not a warrior but a great Guru. Om Guru Guhaya Namah Swaha. 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 We'll do one for Navagrahas. Just Adityaya Somaya. If you know it, chant it. Om Adityaya Somaya Mangalaya Budhaya Cha Guru Shukra Sanidhyasya Raha Veketave Namah Swaha. Om Adityaya Somaya Mangalaya Budhaya Cha Guru Shukra Sanidhyasya Raha Veketave Namah Swaha. Om Adityaya Somaya Mangalaya Budhaya Cha Guru Shukra Sanidhyasya Raha Veketave Namah Swaha. We'll do one for Sani himself. Today is Saturday, and yesterday was Trayodasi. This Chaturdasi, still Sanchaturdasi is also good for Sani. We'll do Nirajana Samabhasam Rayaputram Nirajana. So those who know can chant it. This is from Vyasa's period. Om Nirajana Samabhasam Rayaputram Yamagrajam Chaya Martanda Sambhotam Kamna Mamshanaicharam Swaha. Om Nirajana Samabhasam Rayaputram Yamagrajam Chaya Martanda Sambhotam Kamna Mamshanaicharam Swaha. Om Nirajana Samabhasam Rayaputram Yamagrajam Chaya Martanda Sambhotam Kamna Mamshanaicharam Ocean. And now a small simple one that everybody can chant. Om Sham Shanaishwaraya Namah Swaha. Swaha I say, you don't say. Mantra is Om Sham Shanaishwaraya Namah. All of you say. Om Sham Shanaishwaraya Namah Swaha. 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 Now I'll do one mantra. Those who know can chant along. It's a Veda mantra. You don't necessarily need to chant along, but it's a powerful one. I just want everybody to hear it on Saturday, sunset time. Om Sam No Yastamyo Ravistravantu Naswaha. Now we'll do, I think I saw Ayappa Swami. Anyway, I thought of him, so it's small mantra. Om Shastre Namaswaha. 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 Now last Hanuman and then we'll do Punahati. We'll do simple Nama mantra. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. You can do with Hanuman Chalisa, you can do with many prayers of Hanuman. I'm all set. I don't need anything more. Yeah, I'm all set. Om Ham. All of you chant loud. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. 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 Now, a few you can apart from devatas, nice. Apart from devatas, you can do two rishis. So we'll just offer one offering together to all saptarshis. Om Saptarshibhyo Namah Swaha. That's it. We'll do more. Om Saptarshibhyo Namah Swaha. 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 Now, your Gotra Rishi, if you are fortunate enough to know him, which is the case for many Indians, maybe times are changing now, but in general, most Indians know their Gotra Rishi. It means the Rishi from whom there is an unbroken succession towards you. You basically have the genes of the Rishi. So, blessings of the Rishi are not that easy, but this is slightly easier compared to other Rishis. You have some of his genes. So, it is a good idea to make an offering to your Rishi. So, suppose your Rishi is Bharadwaj, Om Bharadwajaya Namah Swaha. It is Atri, Om Atreya Namah Swaha. It is Bhrugu, Om Bhruguvaya Namah Swaha, like that. And the ending, whether it is Aye or Ave or Aya, we need to know some Sanskrit. But again, if you pick the right Homa manual, for example, your Gotra Rishi is Bhrugu. It is ending with Bhu, so take Vishnu Homa. So see what is the form used there. It is Vishnave. Like that you can get the form from the right manual as a template. So I'll do for my Gotra Rishi. You can pray to your Gotra Rishi. When you do Homa, make one D8 drop offering to your Gotra Rishi if you want. It is very beneficial. Om Gautamaya Namah Swaha. Gautamaya Namah. Now we are ready for basically we are at the end. The Punahuti. Oh, by the way, the initial offerings and the final offerings that I mentioned, right? Indra, Agni, Soma, etc. and Surya, Vayu, Agni at the end. Those you offer only ghee. You don't offer other things like coconut. So we will do that. Om Bhu, you can go to the manual. It's in the final offerings. Om Bhu Agnaye Swaha. Om Bhavah Vayave Swaha. Om Suvah Suryaya Swaha. Om Bhuvah Suvah Swaha. Om Vishnave Swaha. Om Rudraya Swaha. What did I say after the drop? Drop of water on the tips of your fingers. Now the final Punahuti. And normally I put half coconut, whole coconut. Here I'll just put some coconut pieces. Whatever we have here, I'll put them. You can put a raisin. When you are doing Homa, you can put a raisin also. We did multiple devatas. I'll just do it to Ganpati. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Oshat Punahutim Samarpayami. And then one tradition is after Purnahati you offer a lot of ghee all around. Basically, some people also, if you know Rudra Chamakam, the third Anuvaka is chanted. We will do Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram. So let's all chant Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. So ghee is poured in a tree. It is called Vasodhara. It is not in the manual, but we can pour some ghee. The idea is Vasodhara literally means flow of well-being. That's what it literally means. So practically speaking, it enables the Purnahati to catch fire easily because of the ghee to catch fire, and then now you can forget and meditate. Before that, one last one. Om is in the manual. Om Agnaye Saptavate Swaha. And finally, for partial devata, I am taking some raisins and in the southwest direction, which will be probably here. Om Pashadebhyo Namaha. So, in the end, basically, please take them for now. Just leave them. So, what we will do is, and after this, we will start our Homa. This will fire will go very fast because this is just pieces, they will burn very fast. What we will do is, let's all, can you turn off the lights, please? Yeah. Turn off the lights. Let's all chant Om Gam Ganpataye 108 times together. And I'll keep the count, you don't keep the count. 54 times we will all chant together in one voice. So chant along with me. Next 54, everybody silent. Om Gam Ganpataye Namaha. 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 Om lights on. It's not in the manuals, just a step I do. So that's the end basically. In the end, you can do Mantrahinam, Kriyahinam, that's in some manuals but not in the simple manuals. It's not necessary. What is important is now at the end of doing that and just an instrument, Ganapati use me, God use me to do this ritual and make offering to Tata. And you see that fire is almost gone. While I was doing the Homa, there wasn't much smoke because it was mostly coconut and ghee. But now there will be some smoke for a while, but it will not be too much. But with wood you will get more smoke. So we are done with this. We can start. So what we will do is we will go with this manual and don't read all the instructions now. Everybody make sure that you have keys. Yes. See, this is like they say in my mother tongue. They say "Pindikoti roche." It means we can make as many rotis or chapatis as the dough you have. So if you have more dough, you can make more chapatis like that. If you have more time, you can do more devatas, more mantras, more time. You can do this in 10 minutes. You can do this in 10 hours. But the most important thing is try to enjoy what you do. In the beginning, you have to force yourself, but eventually you should enjoy what you do. Try to find the balance between structure and flexibility.
Can I take one?
Yeah, I just need one so that I'm following this instructions. Everybody make sure that you have a manual, either in Hindi, mantras in Hindi script, Devanagari script, or English, Roman script. You have a manual, and you have ghee. See, one glass, one paper cup with water, one paper cup with melted ghee. With spoons in both of them, plastic spoons. When you are doing at home, as I said, use silver, copper, wood. But here it's fine, use plastic. And you can light a lamp. They gave you a gimmick. You can light a lamp. And again, when I do outdoors, when I'm traveling, I do on the street also sometimes. Here we do. It's not necessary to have a lamp. So if you have a gimmick, light the lamp and be ready. We'll start when everybody is ready. We'll start. Make sure you have a lamp. So after you have the lamp, everybody has camphor? Okay. So what I suggest is, put the coconut slices they gave you, lay them in the compound at the bottom, and in between them put a couple of camphor. And people who are not doing Homa, organizers, just pay attention to people. If somebody is struggling, you can go and help them. If somebody's fire is not. One more thing is the Homa Kunda, the bowl that in which you are doing Homa, keep it away from, little away from paper. It's unlikely that you will have big fire, but in case there is fire, you don't want the paper to catch fire. So keep it a little away, just a little distance. You are very near the sun.
Anybody need camphor?
Make sure, see, without all other things you can manage. If you need coconut, you need ghee, you need water, you need the almond and camphor. So make sure that you have those. So the first one will be just 5 minutes. It will be pretend Homa. So we can actually, while things are being sorted out, we can start with the pretend Homa. So pretend Homa, coordinated Homa, independent Homa. Those are the three.